Hello and welcome back to Horizon Forbidden West. So let's continue. I've only done 2 side quests in between videos, but I've done a lot of stuff. So I spent quite a lot of time exploring, hunting, farming for parts. Because I think this is going to be a pretty long part, this video. Because I want to talk to all of these people. There's like 6 people now. I think it's Alpha, Kotalo, and Betas that's not here. We're going to talk with them all, talk with Gaia, proceed with the quest. And I remember there's going to be some fights and then more talking. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty long video.
I bet people are curious about that new arm of yours.
None more than our Quen ally, I assure you. She couldn't wait to take it apart and figure out how it works. I gave her the data I used to build the thing, hoping that would satisfy her curiosity instead.
Good luck with that. How are your studies going?
I wanted to learn more about the world of the Old Ones.
And?
I looked up this pharaoh Gaia said you went looking for, and learned about the plague of machines he unleashed. To think that the ancient world was wiped out by a mistake. A single miscalculation. There is no glory or honor in such a fate. Only hubris and pointless death.
That about sums it up. Have you spoken with Aloy?
Oh damn, okay.
Quen is peculiar. Nothing like a Tenakth. Her mind is sharp, that much is certain. But it's hard to imagine her surviving in the wilds.
Yeah,
me.
she won't.
She's tougher
Really?
than she looks.
I will take your word for it.
I don't think so.
Did Aaron tell you we found the people who gave Regala's rebels the power to override machines?
He told me of the battle. I suggested he etch this victory on his fighting arm with one of our inkers.
Is he going to do it?
He didn't say no.
Oh. Okay, yeah,
Let's go.
Of course.
I need to cut this part. I need to change my mouse battery. It's blinking red. So yeah, instead of dying in the middle of the game, I will change it now. So please wait a moment. Okay, I'm back with a new set of batteries. So we'll be fine. Let's continue. Oh, I think that's all. I'm stuck. Okay. I'm stuck again. Aloy's stupid.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. Have you met our new Quen guest yet?
I could barely keep up as she gave herself a tour of the base. Varl gave her a new focus. Though when he told her she was free to access all the data we had here, she turned so pale I thought she'd faint on the spot. We showed her to the archive room so she could see for herself. She hasn't left the place since.
Sounds like Alva.
Okay.
Read anything interesting lately?
I found out the old ones use leaf infusions like the Utaru do. Tea, they call it. Apparently it helped soothe them. That and some sort of scented wax they used to cleanse their aura. Plus something called bubble baths. I think I'll stick to singing to calm the nerves.
I think you can go try the tea.
I assume you've been looking into Demeter now that Gaia's merged with it?
Yes. It's been humbling to know that the seeds I carry in this pouch came in turn from the seeds saved for Demeter in the old world. It gives me hope that the cycle of life will prevail now, just as it did before.
Yeah.
Anything interesting happen while I was away?
Aaron told us how you tracked down the Oseram supplying Regala with machines. In fact, he's quite adamant about relating the tale at least twice
a day. Oh wow.
But I can tell it meant a lot that you asked for his help.
I wouldn't have been able to track them down if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, the sons of Prometheus
How are
still
things with
gone.
everyone?
Slightly quieter. Aaron's been busy scouring data on his newest obsession. Apparently the old ones wrestled machines as some kind of performance. Called it metal versus meat. A must-see battle between steel and flesh, as Aaron likes to put it. You'd think we have enough of that going around as it is.
Huh, metal versus metal, understandable, a
I
battle
need to
bot.
get going.
Right.
Metal versus
You've
meat.
retrieved the Omega clearance.
Oh,
that
that's
means we'll be
new.
going after Hephaestus soon. I'll make sure my gear's ready.
Yeah, I forgot that Kotalo also have a similar conversation like that regarding the Omega clearance. But because I talked to him before to get the arm quest, that conversation's gone. I did not record that. Let's take these items first. Finish up this
Aloy.
conversation.
You think we can talk?
Wait
Look
a
on your
moment.
face, I'd say the mission was a success.
I got Omega clearance. Is everyone ready to head out to Cauldron Gemini?
As soon as you give the word.
Okay.
Did Alva make it here all right?
You can
Our
see
new Gwen
her.
friend. The moment she laid eyes on the archives, she jumped on them like a long leg.
Sounds about right. Now that I have Omega clearance, we can grab Hephaestus and finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging thunder jaws.
Better them than us, for once.
Okay, not much change.
Once Gaia is
The
back up and
dialogue.
running, I expect you to put all your training to good use.
The seeds have been planted. All they need is a chance to bloom.
Huh.
What? I thought that was pretty good. Zoe liked it.
I'm glad you and Zoe found each other.
Don't forget, you're to blame for that.
I mean, I am to thanks for that. Okay,
I should
short
go
one.
get this to Gaia.
Of course. Let us know when we're needed.
Let's talk with Erend and then Alva, and then we'll end up with Beta.
There she is. Heard you had an interesting time at Thebes.
Maniacs, lava. What's not to like?
I'll remember that next time I go traveling.
At least I got what we needed to trap Hephaestus.
Good thing I got my gear ready then. Oh, before I forget. Here. Something to commemorate our mission.
Oh,
We did good together.
Yeah, we did.
okay, let's talk.
You look tired.
Ha! You never want to hold back, are you? I've just been making sure that I got everything down for this mission of yours. I wouldn't want to be the usual screw-up out there.
You'll do fine, Erend. Have you spoken with Alva yet?
Yeah, when she's not reading the archives like a giddy kid drinking her first ale. She took to that new focus quick, that's for sure. I gotta say, I'm a little jealous. But I can see why you two hit it off.
Okay.
What's wrong with your shoulder?
Yeah, it hurts a little. Yeah, maybe a lot.
What'd you do?
Well, I tried to arm wrestle.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe that wasn't such a great idea.
I was just curious to see if that new arm of his was as strong as it looked. Turns out it really is.
yeah, that's a machine arm.
I should get going.
As soon as you want us heading out to those cauldrons.
I'll give you the heads up.
Kotalo's becoming like a semi-bionic. Okay, let's talk with Alva. We will have a lot of conversation with her, I think.
Aloy,
Right to work, I see.
there's just so much. I mean, we knew of artificial beings that served the ancestors, but Gaia? Oh, she's amazing! And you, a true reincarnation of an ancestor. Genetically speaking, of course, not like the, late CO. And there's more ancestors out there. Returned from beyond the stars.
The crazy people.
Of course, they're trying to kill us, which is not great. And Eric Visser is with them, which is disturbing. And then there's Hephaestus, and...
Okay. How about we take it one step at a time?
You're right. I also owe you an explanation for everything that happened at Landfall.
Okay, let's talk. Yeah, a lot. Let's talk about the Quen first, about what happened.
Back at the greenhouse, you spoke of knowledge forbidden to your people.
Diviners are meant to seek out the truth in the legacy, and many Imperials sponsor them in the hopes they'll find something the Empire can put to use, thus gaining favor with the Emperor. But the Board of Overseers claims certain truths are detrimental to the stability of the Empire.
Forbidden
Like
knowledge.
discovering one of our revered ancestors ended the world.
Mm.
That is why diviners are only allowed to access segments of the legacy. Only overseers can view it all. It ensures that any heretical data can be contained and retrieved before it can spread.
What happens to diviners who break the rules?
I never had the courage to ask.
I think this might be controversial, but the way she talk about that feels like the old, maybe to the fairly recent Catholic Church in Rome, about how they secure. I think even up to now, there's a certain part in the cathedral, right, that's forbidden. I think so, or maybe that's from a movie. I don't know.
You said you owed me an explanation for what happened in Thebes.
That's not a fact. What I talk
I'm
about.
listening.
Right. I'll start at the beginning with the CEO. He was an imperial, the Emperor's nephew, in fact. As such, he sponsored many diviners to search the legacy for anything that might help the tribe, and himself. He took a special interest in anything related to Ted Faro, whom we consider the greatest of the ancestors.
Ted Faro, revered ancestor. That's tough to take.
I know better now, of course. Anyway, the diviners discovered that Faro spent a great deal of time in San Francisco. In fact, many of the most important ancestors did. So the Emperor's nephew convinced him that an expedition across the ocean might solve our most pressing problems. If only we could find the right data in this fabled city. Perhaps we could roll back the floods and storms that threatened our people. The Emperor declared that all the tribe's resources be poured into this endeavor. Dozens of ships were built, scouting missions were dispatched, and the Emperor's nephew was named CEO, one who wields the legacy for the good of the Empire, the living embodiment of Ted Faro, a renewer. It may seem strange now, but for a time, he carried all of our hopes. We really believed he would save us. We had no idea just how perilous the journey would be.
Yeah, you're crossing over a great ocean. Oh, more of them. Okay.
You said the expedition across the sea was more dangerous than you thought it would be. What happened?
We lost most of our ships to hurricanes, and scores of soldiers perished to hunger and disease. And that was before we even hit the coast. Once we landed, machines ripped our patrols apart, and we struggled to replenish our rations. There were bright spots, to be sure. We found Thebes and the greenhouse, but nothing improved the CEO's mood as his dreams of saving the tribe were slowly dashed. He became more and more obsessed with Thebes and what lay behind its door, and more convinced that the title of CEO was no mere honorific. You heard him, spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's essence and some kind of becoming. We knew these weren't the words of a sane man, but he was quick to put any who spoke out in front of a firing squad.
What a great guy.
The Quen are wrong about many things when it comes to the legacy. I can see that now. But what the CEO became was a complete perversion of what principal diviners stand for. The pursuit of truth. I'm sorry you had to endure his madness. I'm just glad it's over. For everyone.
So he might still have some sanity or maybe some goodness in him before the journey. I think the journey broke him.
So, Bohai, your overseer.
Yeah.
Will he run things better than CEO?
He looks
He
like a
won't execute
bootlicker.
people on a whim, if that's what you mean. But he's hardly a paragon of integrity.
I can see
I
that.
can't tell you how many times he took credit for data in the legacy that I uncovered. The best thing I can say about him is that he can be trusted to always do what's best for him.
Yep, sounds about right. The ancestors, is that what your people call the old ones?
Yes and no. The ancestors are the greatest of the old ones. Those whose legacy taught us agriculture, medicine, warfare, leadership, and patronage of the science and arts.
The CEO called Elizabeth Sobek an assistant. What's that about?
Right. Well, any old one who has made minor contributions or worked extensively under one of the ancestors is called an assistant. That's how we thought of Sobek, until we met you. Our limited access to data past the late 2040s has obviously misinformed our view of the past.
Okay, you can hardly
You
blame
mentioned
them.
the reason you came here was to help your family. Your sister...
Her name is Alika. Our parents are commoners, peasants, really. When I passed the divination exams, they were so proud. It brought honor to our family and increased rations. Only Alika begged me not to leave for the research academy.
Why? What happens there?
Alika knew that once you enter, you're not allowed to leave or see anyone, not even your family. Unless you can get special permission and an escort by an overseer.
Sounds harsh.
Like the focuses we keep, diviners are few in number, and the Empire is, well, fearful that outsiders will try to steal our knowledge. Last time I was allowed to see my family was just before our voyage here. Because of my position, I was able to get them refuge from the floods within the capital. But if our crops don't recover soon, they'll starve to death along with everyone else.
I promise I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't come to that.
The journey from the Far East to here in San Francisco can take months, even
You
with
mentioned
the
Eric
gyro
Visser?
compass.
How do you know about him?
The Zenith who tried to kill you? He is known to the Quen as the Protector. Combing through data related to his work led us to breakthroughs related to weapons and military tactics. Knowledge our rulers used to conquer and expand, to become the empire we are today. That's why he's one of our most revered ancestors. But based on your encounter with him, it appears he's even more ruthless than we ever imagined. Yet another distorted interpretation in a legacy.
Well, at least you're piecing together the truth.
If only the overseers back home would do the same.
Beta mentioned other Zeniths. Tilda, Verbena, and Gerard.
I'm afraid I don't know anything about them. Whatever legacy they left behind, the diviners haven't recovered.
And then you can barely find any data about Tilda. I remember Tilda being a really good hacker or information broker. I forgot. But I think she's a really good hacker because she can hack into Beta's learning program, right? To make
I see you've been
a
using
connection
your new
with her.
focus.
It's been fascinating. So much better than the version the Quen have. What would have taken me years to sort through, like the database you helped me recover, with this, I've been able to establish search parameters to speed up the process. This could revolutionize how diviners analyze the legacy. That is, whatever part of it the overseers would actually let us study.
You wanted data, you'll find lots of it here.
A diviner has never had this sort of unsupervised access to archives such as this. And knowing you, I suspect there is much that would normally be forbidden held within them. But I was sent here to help you. I would be remiss to ignore any truth laid before me. Maybe it'll help the Quen find their way back to the path of truth.
The Quen maybe, the Diviner, I don't know. People like that usually will keep trying to hold
I
onto their
imagine
power.
you don't know anyone here that well yet, but they're a good group.
It's funny because one of your friends is,
Yeah.
well, another you. Not that you are the same person at all. I mean, you are, as in, you're both genetically Elizabeth Sobek, but even so, you're different.
Yeah, we are. I hope everyone's been treating you okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. They've all been extremely welcoming. And they share the knowledge they learn on their focuses with each other freely. It's refreshing. Back home, diviners can only share data with the permission from the overseers.
Sounds restrictive and stifling.
Yeah, you are not wrong.
Yeah, I remember in the Burning Shore we will face up with a lot of the Quen. Are we going to their homeland? That's a long journey.
Anything new around here?
Kotalo showed me the schematics for his new arm. I recall reading about robotic limbs within the Legacy, but
Yeah, prosthetic
I never
limbs.
thought I'd see one in action. Technology like that would be treasured back home. Think of what it could do for injured workers or soldiers. But knowing the Imperial family, they would use it for different purposes. Their own.
Replacing body
Exoskeleton?
parts as they grow older. The
Oh.
Zeniths.
Exactly.
I was thinking exoskeleton and wartime purpose. Okay.
I need to get going, but if you need anything,
All I need is to help you succeed in your mission. The plan Gaia told me about to capture Hephaestus, it will help set things right.
I hope so.
Then I will do whatever I can. I promise.
Okay, let's go to Beta, the last member of our tiny group. Wait, Huh. You in there? I guess not. Huh. Well, let's continue with the main quest then. Oh wow, it's over 20 minutes. Like I said, a really long video. I think it's gonna be 2 hours long.
Welcome back,
Yeah, let's talk.
Aloy. I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new problem.
Did something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus itself. It has accelerated its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your sub-functions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct, but the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my
Okay.
current estimate is that the merge will take 35 hours.
And each hour increases the risk of detection by the Zeniths. Two cores. 2 overrides. What if the merge were carried out by 2 clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of 2 operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.5 hours.
Okay. Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse generators ready?
Only a final test remains. I am confident that if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the Zeniths.
Good. As long as Aaron can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here. Beta's in bad shape.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I talk with her first? Yeah, I can. Let's talk.
Aloy,
I know.
as you wish.
Okay.
The missing subordinate.
Artemis, Eleuther, interculturing, Apollo, and disseminating. Unfortunate, all archive.
Ted.
Ah,
Guess
this
he
is
got what
new.
he deserved. In the end.
Yes. An igneous conclusion to his pathological narcissism, impulsive tendencies, and instability.
All 3 of the missing were. Do you still need...
Restoring the empowering, unfortunate, attaining them in the
I guess our best shot, but we'll need Hephaestus and a bunch...
correct.
Okay, that's it. Let's talk. Okay.
How's
Oh,
Alva
Alva,
settling?
yeah.
As soon as she arrived, Alva was eager to study the data in the archive. A particular file soon caught her attention. Information about a machine assistant devoted to keeping living spaces neat and orderly. I informed her that once I am empowered with the abilities of Hephaestus, I may be able to design such a machine.
Huh.
I'm sure she'll like that. So our plan to capture Hephaestus.
As you wish. We now know that Hephaestus will not respond to your alpha
Oh, this is new.
clearance.
This is new.
Which is why I got Ted Farrow's Omega clearance.
Correct. While you were gone, Beta constructed the transport rig and pulse generators. When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Hephaestus. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
How long will that take?
Because the work will be split between you and Beta, it will take approximately 4.5 hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron door and fire off their device. The energy surge should mask our activities until the merge is complete.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, let's see. One more.
So I, found Thebes. What do you think Ted would have done if his life extension treatments had worked?
It seems he convinced himself it was his duty to guide future humans. Given the tribal nature of new humans, and his ability to use Omega clearance on the terraforming system, I imagine he would have convinced one or more tribes to worship him as their patriarchal deity.
Okay. Yep, glad that didn't happen.
More of them?
Aside
Okay.
from Gaia Prime and Thebes, there was one other underground facility that was sealed before the Pharaoh Plague reached it. Elysium. The place where Zero Dawn staff and their families went to live out their lives. Do you know what happened to it?
Elysium was designed to provide life support for 100 years. My data indicates the facility went offline well before then.
Did the Pharaoh Plague find them?
Unknown. My connection to the facility was abruptly severed.
That looks like a hint for a DLC or the next game.
See you later, Gaia.
Until
The next game, we might visit Elysium. We might find what happened there. We might need... Oh... The waiting's going to happen with Hephaestus. Yeah... We
Aloy.
need to go there. Okay.
I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think anything will convince her to go.
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
Now it's open.
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you. Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone, in a cell again. Their slave. Forever.
Okay, another chosen path. Let's pick this one again. Look at the odds, find your courage. I'll protect
Paul
you.
and I will be at Gemini too. I'll protect you. As soon as we get Hephaestus, we'll come straight back here. The Zeniths aren't going to find us. You don't have to be afraid. No! You can't protect me. Nothing can protect me from them. I
It's not
told you from
working.
the beginning, we'll never beat them. It's hopeless.
Another choice?
Beta.
Leave me alone! You don't understand!
You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't. I look through all the data from your focus. You were raised as an outcast, shunned, and isolated just like me, so what's the difference?
Ross.
What's my defect?
Ross. She had Ross. She had Ross.
Beta, you don't have a defect. Beta, look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth. The difference is, I had him. Frost. He raised you, trained you, but he was never warm or loving. The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough. What did it feel like? It was like having the strength that was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad. But it looks impossible. Look deeper. And then fight like you can win. You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You said you'd try to protect me. I believe you. But you have to promise me one thing. Yes, of course. If it goes bad, if the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand? Okay. Promise? I promise. I could use as much time as you can give me to study up on the merge, to make it as efficient as possible.
Okay.
I'll be ready when you are. I swear.
Now, can we talk with Beta now?
Aloy, whenever you're ready, come speak to me and I'll ask the others to make final preparations for the mission.
Yeah.
Hey, I am.
Okay.
So you know about the extinction sick? It was speculated self-destructed after Gaia would have only undertaken action if it had detected a threat that was more dangerous than ceasing. I should have realized recreation of her plan almost if I hadn't stumbled upon a focus as a kid.
Oh, I think this is
things
new.
would have been a lot different.
Oh. Okay, I skipped the one of
You
the
said
new
the
dialogue.
Zenith's colony in the Sirius system. All I was ever told was that I've speculated that it was or maybe even an abnormally violent coronal mass. Did the Zeniths tell you any? They said the only thing that mattered, first Earth. I guess they survived.
Okay.
You said you spent years studying and it was this, or only Aristotle would assign me learning. Wait, those names. Before Ted, the Zeniths. So it's still only what was deemed. If I requested information, to have all that knowledge, a little.
That looks like an old conversation.
So how goes setting up on the merge? Guy and I have added a function that will display a holographic interface to visualize the data stream from Hephaestus. It should make expunging its malicious code a little more efficient. That's great. Whatever we can do to cut down the merge time is going to increase our chance of success. Good work. I'll continue to search for other ways to speed up the process. But whenever you're ready, I am too. Alva's joined us. Have you two had a chance to talk? She told me she's not allowed to access a lot of the data her people have. Similar to the restrictions I had in my training interface. I told her that if we succeed at Gemini, then once we return, I'll help her search for more ways to help her family. Even though Gaia will fix the biosphere, it'll take time for farmlands to fully recover. So, I want to help speed things up. How so? Bioengineering of more resilient plant strains, novel crop production methods, equipment upgrades. Something that might help in the short term.
See? She's
I'm
changing.
sure she'll appreciate it.
Yeah. She's changing for the better. Environments matter, everyone.
So when you talk to the others, are you calling them over the focus? No, they'll come down here to visit. Like Erend. He's funny. But loud. I wish I could show him the media portal and the data channel. I think he would like the sports hollows. There was one where two people would criticize each other before wrestling to see who was stronger. It was bizarre and violent, but I think Erend would enjoy it. Yeah, you're right. I bet he would.
Okay, that's it. Let's
going now?
start the mission then. Oh wow, I
I'll be right
spent a lot of time here. Wait, oh no. Oh no, please no. Oh no. Okay, more dialogue?
The man is unbeatable at machine strike.
His
And a
people invented the
quest.
game. What did you expect?
Kotalo can't win every time. Try to be optimistic.
Try to be realistic.
Just be
We're
realistic. This video might be just me talking with everyone. If it gets too long, I might just end it without starting the mission.
Hey, I thought I'd check in before leaving for Gemini.
Are you sure we shouldn't be checking up on you? Whatever went on between you and Beta sounded intense. Not that I'm judging. Forge knows all the screws flew loose every time Mercer and I fought.
I think we'll be fine from now on.
I'm glad to hear it.
After we get Hephaestus, we'll be taking the fight to the Zeniths. So, no more reading.
It wasn't that bad. Not really. Besides, going through all that data helped me realize something. You know, the soldiers, the ones that fought the Pharaoh machines so Gaia could be built, they were fighting a battle that couldn't be won. Not with all the weapons in the world. I think most of them realized that, whether anyone said it or not. They still did it, though. They bought time for all the eggheads working to save the future. Our future. As long as I can do that for you, I'll consider myself a success.
Thank you, Erend. I'm glad you're with me.
Yeah, okay, enough. I'm gonna get emotional.
Yeah, that's why I thought Zero Dawn have a better story than Forbidden West.
Anybody take you up on that ale you brought yet?
Zoe can't stand the smell of it. I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking a break means. And I'm not putting Varl anywhere near that stuff after that victory party in Meridian.
What about Kotalo?
Now there's a man that can hold his liquor. Pretty sure we downed half a keg. We had a good chat, I think.
I think. So he doesn't remember
I
what
should go.
happened.
Same here. I got a date with a cauldron to prepare for.
Okay, I'll talk with All for the last because she have a quest.
Aloy, everything okay with you and Beta? It sounded like you guys had a, lively conversation.
We just had a lot to talk about.
Does this mean she's coming with us to Gemini?
It does. I hope you're ready to rein in the most stubborn AI of all time.
That's what all this was for, wasn't it?
Hephaestus won't go down quietly.
Hephaestus is just a program that's lost its way. We are fighting for our survival. I can always call upon the goddess if you're nervous.
Funny.
Okay, a lot. Let's talk about the
I hope
Zenith
firing
again.
off those pulse generators will be enough to distract the Zeniths.
It'll work. It has to.
Always optimistic, huh?
Nah, just stubborn. It's a good quality to have when dealing with you.
Yeah, right. You were right, you know, about keeping Rost's memories buried. I guess part of me thought he was holding me back, because he wanted me to be a Nora. But the truth is, he gave me a lot. And I took him for granted.
He was a good man. He raised you well.
Any last findings you want to share before leaving?
Not really. Though I've reached a decision.
Oh?
When we put Gaia together, I want to return to the Nora. Spread what I've learned.
You think they'll listen to you?
In time, I believe so.
If anyone can make it happen, it's you, Varl. What will you and Zoe do if you go back to the Embrace?
I hope she'll come with me. At least for a while. And I'll go with her to Plainsong too. She'll probably want to talk to her people about all this as well. We'll figure it out.
I know you will. How does everyone seem to you?
Anxious, but ready. I heard Katalo ask for Alva's help with his pulse generator.
Oh.
And I know he's been helping her with a few fighting techniques, just in case.
I hope they aren't needed.
Like I said, just in case.
So Eren goes alone. No. Eren goes with Zoe? I don't know.
I'm glad you're coming with me, Varl.
Sure there's no urge to run off alone in there somewhere?
No more running.
Okay. Zoe, Kotalo, and then Alva.
Hey, we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. You good with the plan?
I've already got the location of my assigned cauldron.
Good.
I heard you and Beta had a talk.
News travels fast.
It wasn't exactly a quiet conversation.
There were just things that needed to be said.
A healthy crop to those who clear the weeds between them, as the Utaru say.
That's a good saying. Let's see.
You look like you have something on your mind.
We're going to war soon. And war is something I promised myself I'd left behind in the Red Raids. But the more of your data I go through, every voice I hear, every word I read from our ancient past, it makes me realize just how much life was given so that ours could flourish. Fighting for that gift, it's our responsibility. If we fail, it was all for naught.
Helps to know you're not alone.
For a moment there, you sounded like Varl.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, that's it. Let's
I should
talk with
go.
Kotalo.
As soon as you intend to leave for Gemini,
You'll hear about it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I will end it without fighting, huh? I really thought we will have time to fight. A lot to talk about.
Aloy, are you well?
Had a bit of an issue with Beta. It's better now, though.
Ah, I'm not surprised.
Really? Why not?
I once knew a warrior who discovered he had a brother late in life. It was deeply uncomfortable for him.
Did he ever get over it?
In time. But not before the two siblings nearly killed each other in a single combat challenge.
Ah. Well, at least I avoided that.
I think Beta's gonna die from that. Okay, let's stop.
Think you're ready to put all your training to the test?
I am Tenakth. I am always ready.
You nervous about the mission ahead?
If I live, it will be in victory. If I die, it will be in battle. What matters most is that you achieve your objective.
I'll do my best.
That's a huge
Should we get
responsibility. Okay.
I await your orders.
I love Kotalo. All of the characters in Forbidden West are very interesting. I think most of them are interesting than the Zero Dawn, but the story, the main story, it just don't have that much impact like the Horizon Zero
I
Dawn.
hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just studying the pulse generator schematics. The ones Gaia and Beta built. The craftsmanship is remarkable. Is everything alright? It sounded like there was an issue with Beta and the mission.
Not anymore. We just needed to talk some things through.
To understand one another is to embrace truth. Oh, and if you have a moment, there's something I could use your help with.
Yeah, the quest. Let's talk.
Must be strange to think that some of the ancestors your tribe reveres are still alive. And here on Earth, right now.
Yeah, it is. Part of me's curious to know who else besides Eric Visser might be among them. Maybe Nikita Arand? We call her the Spark. The legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old ones. Or Song Jiao, whom we call the
Song
healer.
Jiao, I think
It
I've
is said
read
she
about
found
her.
new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespans. But my curiosity fades when I think of how different our view of Visser was compared to the reality that you experienced. Perhaps it is better not to know.
Okay.
Any more data catch your eye?
All of it? I have so much to study up on. Years, actually. I'm particularly interested in the Odyssey.
The Odyssey.
We knew the ancestors had made it to the moon. In fact, we theorized some of them had settled on it. But Sirius is way farther than that. And we thought journeying across the ocean would be the feat of a lifetime. The sheer calculations needed for space travel. It's overwhelming to think about.
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this stuff.
That's
Where
the
I grew up,
truth.
everyone thought that stars were sparks that rose from a fire lit by the goddess to guide us through the night. Have you spoken with Zoe at all?
A little bit, but I did hear her singing with Varl not too long ago. I don't think they noticed. Zoe seemed so free when she did it. Like every emotion she had was taking flight in song. And she looked happier because of it. I felt so dull and nervous in comparison.
You should ask Zoe to teach you sometime. About Utaru music.
Maybe.
Yeah, the animation when they talk while smiling, that's what make them so weird, so scary, so
If you need
creepy.
anything before heading out to the cauldrons.
You have nothing to worry about. Gaia's explained your plan in detail, as expected from such an efficient AI. I've even received some very, succinct combat advice from Kotalo. You know, in case the Zeniths show up.
What kind of advice?
He, told me to run.
Okay, that's a good advice, yeah.
We'll even the odds soon enough.
There's no shame in run and fight another day.
You mentioned there was something you needed help with?
Yes. So, as I was sifting through data from the greenhouse, I found references to an old world system back in the Great Delta. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it decades ago. A sprawling network of river gates and a labyrinth of underground tunnels. The legacy revealed that the old ones used it to control flooding. But we've never gotten it to work. The whole thing is shut down. But the data from the greenhouse mentions the research facility where Leviathan was created.
Oh, I think
It's
I
in
knew
San
about this,
Francisco.
yeah.
Another Pharaoh facility?
No. Leviathan was a project by
Yeah.
Ian Sasaki, another ancestor. So the legacy tells us, anyway, if we can acquire that data, we might be able to fix the system back in the Great Delta. Every year, my sister gets terrified when the long rains begin. With Leviathan, maybe she won't have to be.
Okay. So, where in San Francisco is this facility?
That's the thing. The data doesn't say where, exactly. But one of our diviners has been exploring the ruins. He might know. would you come with me? I have a feeling that wherever this facility is, well, you're much better at fighting machines than I am.
Of course. I'll let you know when I'm in landfall.
Yeah, I think I
Thank you,
remember this quest. I think this quest will lead us to a lot of
I should
climbing.
go. Make sure you
I
talk to Gaia if you
remember.
have any questions about the pulse generators.
May your path lead to truth.
I remember that we are going to climb very, very up high, and we might
And
be...
like I said, I'll let you know when I'm in landfall. We'll find the data you're after.
I appreciate it.
Okay, and we might be better doing this quest after having a certain mount. But you know what? I think I'll do that in between videos. Yeah, that might be better. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I really thought we are going to take maybe 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes of talking. I really never thought there's going to be this much conversation. Yeah, I really thought maybe 20 minutes of talking, 30 minutes to finish the main quest, the Hephaestus quest, and then another 30 minutes of talking, because I remember the store exposition after the Gemini Cauldron fight, that's a lot of conversation, a lot of cutscene and a lot of conversation. So that's why I thought this video is going to be at least an hour and a half. But looking at how long this video is, I think it's better if I just end it now, and we'll start the next part with fighting. Yeah, I promise you there's going to be fighting and action in the next part. Well, all of the exposition, a reconciliation with Beta. Like I said, I always say this from the beginning, I don't remember that scene where Aloy shows Ross to Beta. But you are the same, but you have different upbringing. Even the twins will be different if they have different upbringing. Aloy's too harsh on Beta, and Beta's too, how do I say this, expectant on how Aloy should have done. So yeah, it's good to know that they have reconciled and have a better future. I really wonder what the Burning Shore story will be. I only know that we are going to face a huge Horus, the giant machine production, because that's on the cover of the Burning Shore. And I also remember that if you pre-order it, I think on PlayStation, you will get a specific equipment from the Quens. So I think we will be fighting with the Quens. Now my only problem is, let's show the world. I don't see any. I think the only Horus here, it's over here. Yeah, I think there's a Horus over here. Or maybe it's somewhere over here. No, I think it's over here. Yeah. I don't know, maybe not even in... Yeah. The Frozen Wild gives us a different map. We might be going to a different area. I don't know where though. We couldn't be going to the Quen's land, right? That's too far. I don't know. I guess we will see. We are nearing the end. We are not that far from the end. So it's not that far from the DLC, The Burning Shore, which I want to play. And the reason I start recording this main playthrough again. Well, okay. Thanks for watching. And I will see you again in the next part. Ciao.